everyone, welcome back to Solo Leveling Arise, and today we're going to talk about Meilin Fisher, a pretty awesome support character for your water team, but really for any team out there. And the thing is, guys, with this character is that all of your damage is going to be based off of HP, so that there's an indication as far as how you want to build her. You can actually build her a couple different ways, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. So her first skill, guys, just does a big old whip, her basic attack, and then her core attack is a big old spin, a little AoE, pretty cool. I love the sound effects of the whip hitting, it's really cool. But her bread and butter are her basic skills and her ultimate. So her basic skill here, this first one here, actually gives a heal equal to 5% of Meilin's finisher HP. You got to make sure you land the attack to get the heal, but if you do it, everybody on your team will get that heal. So automatically it makes her a very good healing character for your characters. And then when you move on to her second skill, which is Up, a funny name for it, right? Kind of funny, you see the paws coming out, you see the funny, hear the funny sound effects of the cat in the background. But this thing here actually removes the shield, and it increases the core attack damage of the user. So this is pretty potent. So this is both these things you want to be using when in your rotations. You want to use that first skill for the heal. You want to use this skill here so that way you can remove a shield if a shield is there, and that can be very, very valuable, especially in certain game modes. But increasing core attack is awesome, and you can see that she's pretty much set up for Alicia. Alicia's bread and butter is her core attack, and she's a water character. So the fact that this girl actually can buff up the core attack with her up skill as well as remove a shield is OP as hell, guys. It's very, very strong. As you level this thing up, it's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as far as how much damage you can actually apply, right? And then you have her sports skill. This is going to be for Jin Woo. And this here actually removes the shield. So whenever you're playing with Jin Woo on team, she can remove the shield with this thing. She also will restore your HP to equal to 8% of her max HP. So again, whenever you use the support, when you're playing with Jin Woo, whenever you use her as a support when you're playing with Jin Woo, you get that 8% heal. And you also increase your attack by 16% and decrease your damage taken by 16%, making you a little bit tanky, and this lasts for 16 seconds. This is amazing for Jin Woo or any character on your team. So this is really golden, but obviously since it's a support skill, it's going to be mainly used for Jin Woo. And then whenever you move over to the QT skill, which is what you're going to be using whenever you're playing with the hunters, she just comes in, swoops in, does some damage, and that's pretty much it. Then the next thing we have is her ultimate skill. Now this is pretty OP, especially when you're playing on the hunter team or in situations where you're playing with Jin Woo and you can actually use your hunters with a team fight, playing them all together, because whenever you use this, it will deal water damage, obviously, but it's going to knock down the target, and whenever the user uses this skill, grants pumped up effect to all team members. And pumped up increases the user attack by 8%, increases the user defense by 8%, increases the user critical rate by 8%. This is OP as hell, because say you're playing with a character that has stats based off defense or stats based off attack, she's going to buff up either one of those characters, and she's going to give them critical rate by 8%. And on top of that, she's going to increase the user's core attack damage by 8%. So any characters, including Alicia, they're going to get a huge buff from that ultimate on top of the first skill here, right? So really, really OP, lots of extra damage. So even at A0, very, very powerful. Now, whenever you take a look at how to play her, when Rear Lash or Cat Rush hits, and Rear Lash is this skill right here, and Cat Rush is your QTE skill. Whenever those things hit, you're going to apply Cuddle Puddle. And when the user uses Side Whip or Up, and Side Whip and Up, this is Up right here, and then Side Whip is actually your basic attack, I believe. Yeah, your basic attack here, your core attack damage. Whenever the user uses those skills or tags out, it grants by Meow effect to all team members. Cuddle Puddle increases water damage. By Meow, increase attack by 8% and increase defenses by 8%. This is actually terrific, because you know you're going to be getting both these buffs right here, right? And this stacks up to 3 times, which is OP. And then whenever she's A1, the damage of Up increases by 64%. So A1 gives her a little bit of extra damage. And then whenever you go to A2, and she gets super armor. And whenever you go to A2, this is really where it's at for this character as far as trying to level her up, where you really want her to be. Because at A2 is really where it improves her support skills that much more. On top of her skills and just the way her kit is set up as far as giving you buffs, you can actually get increased all timber attack by 8% and defense, guys, by 8%. So she buffs up defense characters and attack characters very, very much so. But if they're water characters, they get an extra 8%. So at A2 is really where it's at. Now, you can go to A3. You're going to get increased power charge gauge rate, which I've actually kind of accounted for with the artifacts that I'm using. But if you did have this, maybe you would use a different set of artifacts. Then you get an HP increase, which all of her damage is based off of. You want the more HP she has, the bigger heal she's going to give, and the more damage she's going to do. And then obviously at A5, you get this ridiculous, critical rate increase, user attack, user defense. This is really like, obviously it's the home run. If you're going to take the character to A5, it's the home run. But I think the cheapest route to really get the most out of her is A2. But even if you have her at A0, she's a terrific character to have. Now, as far as artifacts, guys, there's actually a few ways you can go with this character. Now, I've opted to use the Destroyer set because it actually increases power gauge acquisition rate. The reason this is so good is because I have Alicia, and Alicia's ultimate does a ridiculous amount of damage. So the faster I can build that thing up, the more damage I'm going to be doing with my water team. And Sail does a good amount of damage with her ultimate as well. Even though her basic attacks are really her bread and butter, it's still very, very good for her too. So that's why I opted to put the power gauge set on her. But another set that would actually be all right for her is the Holy Hat set, because this actually will increase her HP, increasing her damage. But on top of that, it'll actually give another buff for your team members if you choose to do this. Now, you can do this if you want. This is actually a decent set, but I've done a little testing, and actually I seem, with Alicia for sure, I seem to be doing a lot better with the power acquisition set, with the Destroyer set, instead of the Noble Sacrifice. But when it comes to your stats, guys, you're really looking for the same things, right? You really want additional HP is what you're looking for up on top. And healing given increase is actually pretty good for her because she does give a nice little heal. But if you're increasing her critical rate, damage increase, critical damage, that's all going to be good for a little increase in damage. But you're really just looking for as much HP as possible. You guys can see we got HP plus 1, and that's kind of what I was looking for, when I was setting her up, is just trying to increase her HP as much as possible. And then you can see the last one here, which again, I have HP plus 1. Now, when it comes to the other set here, there's a lot of different ways you can go. I opted to go for the Executioner set because it does increase damage. Again, she's not the biggest damage dealer. However, this skill here does do a decent amount of damage. It's nothing crazy, but it does do a decent amount of damage. So that's kind of why I opted to go for this. I find that whenever I'm doing Switch Team gameplay, I do a lot better when I have, like, say, this set on her instead of maybe some other sets. But again, just like this set, the 4-piece over here, you can actually go with something else like the, Outstanding Connection, which is going to increase your user's team member attack. Like whenever you're tagging out, you're just going to increase your team member's attack by a large portion. So it'll make her an even better support. In all honesty, you can build her any way you want. If you want to build her just for straight up support, I would go with this set here for this 4-piece, and for this set here, I would go straight up for the Noble Sacrifice set. Those two sets are going to be really, really good as far as being just a solid support. But, for me, I just went a little bit different route where I wanted that power acquisition. I just think for Alicia, that is OP as hell. You're just able to do that thing more often throughout the fight, and you just do a lot more damage. And I just like having an extra set for a little extra damage on her. And again, you're just looking for additional HP is really what, like this here is OP as hell, HP plus 2, additional HP. This is really what you want. You want to see a whole lot of that. But again, if you get critical damage, critical rate, damage increase, it's all good, guys. But, and water damage, of course, for this one here, you definitely want, right? And additional HP, again, very, very good for her, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for with the character. Now, let's jump into a little something, and let me show you just how awesome this character is. All right, we'll go into the Encore mission, and we're going to take on Cerberus Tier 10, okay? Tier 10, we're just going to do one little fight here, all right? And I'll show you just how strong this girl is, or how much of a help she is. Now, I do have some pretty OP sets. I'm actually using the set that we were actually able to get from the shop, these level 73s. And by the way, guys, these artifacts added about 20,000 BP battle power to my Alicia, and they are much stronger than the set that I had on before. They're just OP as hell. She's got a ridiculous amount of battle power now. I mean, 101,000 is crazy, and she's only A2. My Sail's A4, right? We got her level 40 weapon. We have all water weapons, which definitely makes a difference. That helps a lot. But you guys can look at the build that I have on them here, and let's jump in here and do this, right? That set on Alicia helps out a lot, man. I really would advise farming for those things. But let's see how well we can do against good old Cerberus doing a live run against tier 10. See if we can whoop his butt. So we always want to start off. We got to do 2 dodges. 1, do another dodge. There we go. Get both our buffs. Bring in Alicia. Oh boy, that is not what we wanted there. Come on, come on, come on. Alright. Now we were trying to use Sail here so we can kind of break that meter a little bit there. Nice. And you can just see the damage. There we go. Got that good extreme evasion there. Now there, that kind of sucked. Oh, run, 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 run. Alright, and we're going to try to get out of the way. Hopefully we don't get hit here. And now we're going to use that ultimate. Heck yeah, we got the buffs from Meilin as well. Now look at this damage, guys. Look at that. Tier 10, guys. Tier 10. Look at the damage. Right? Meilin helps out so much. Now, granted, the artifacts that are on Alicia now definitely help a lot too because they're level 73 artifacts. Again, they added about 20,000 BP. So it's kind of like a double whammy video where I'm showing just how strong those new artifacts are, but also how good Meilin is to have on the team. Again, though, she's A2. She's giving that increased 16% damage to Alicia because we get the 8% for the water character and 8% for regular characters. So very, very OP, man. Super, super strong to have on your water team, but really just any team, you know. So, I mean, you know, for some players, maybe if they already have, like, men, maybe they already have men here. If they already have men, maybe they won't pull for her because men's actually a really great support for all the characters as well. But man, I tell you what, guys, if you're really trying to set up your water team, right, and the ultimate water team is the one I just showed you with Alicia, Seal, and Meilin. If you're trying to set up that water team, even if she's just A0, she's going to be quite the beneficial character to have on your team, but it really depends on where you're at in the game. And more than likely, guys, you'll be able to get this weapon from the event. And this weapon's awesome because whenever you use your side whip, her first skill, it increases the damage of the team members with the highest attack by 1% for 12 seconds. And each time Meilin Fisher's HP increases by 2,000, max damage increase rate to 10%. Decrease ultimate skill cooldown by 11%. And the more often she can do that ultimate, whenever you're playing with all those hunters, the more damage you're going to do because of the buffs that ultimate actually gives with the core attack increase and the increased attack to defense and attack type fighters. Just very, very OP, guys. She's a really, really great support. So I'll leave you all with that. Let me know what you guys think about Meilin, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.